Hi, welcome to 25 Women for 2020's Candidate Conversations. We're here again with Tiffany Grant, who's running for House District 60. And today we're going to talk specifically about education. Tiffany is a 12-year teaching veteran, and so she knows a lot about public education. So tell us, Tiffany, as a legislator, what will you do to improve public education for Indiana?
Thank you. So I have a number of ideas on improving public education, but I think the very most important thing we need to do is we need to properly fund it. And in so doing, we need to make sure that the money we are setting aside for public education in the state of Indiana is actually going toward academic resources, healthcare resources, all of those things within the public schools. What we're seeing right now in Indiana is that we have set aside a very large chunk of money, but we are spending a lot of that on a voucher system that kind of drains that public education money out of the public education system and puts it into private and charter schools. And we also see a lot of that money being spent on standardized testing. If we could really reprioritize how that spending is happening, I think we could see a much more successful public school program in Indiana.
Tiffany, it's so good to be here today with a seasoned expert in education. And you know so well that education has changed a lot because of the pandemic. One of them was dropping the standardized testing. What would it look like if we decide to just drop standardized testing altogether? How will teachers know what their students are doing and how they're learning? What will that look like?
I appreciate that question. As someone who has taught a tested subject for 12 years, I've taught English and I've taught mathematics. What we know is that students will take those tests and we get the results back from those 3 to 4, maybe 5 months later. It takes a very long time to get that data back into the teacher's hands. By the time I see that data for the students who have tested in the spring, I have a new group of students in my classroom. And those students have moved on to the next classes. So that data doesn't really give us information to actually mold instruction. Right? We use data to inform instruction on a daily basis in the classroom. What's really much more valuable to teachers are those check-ins daily and the quizzes, the tests, or any sort of creative assessment that we can get with a student or from a student that gives us that data immediately. We know exactly how they're doing on the skills we need them to understand and master to move on. Standardized testing from the state just does not provide that. So I have not yet figured out what the standardized testing does for the state of Indiana. Right now, they have it connected to school letter grades. But as far as actually educating students and helping build their skills, standardized testing does not do it. So as far as in the classroom, removing standardized testing would actually give teachers and students 12 more days of instruction and learning that are right now being lost to test and test prep.
That's so helpful for people in your district to know more about that and also more about you. How can voters find you? Where's your website? What's your social media?
Yes, my website is tiffanygrantforindiana.com. And from there, you can find all of my social media information as well as email through the website. But if you want to find me on Facebook, it's Tiffany Grant for District 60. On Twitter, it's Grant_60. And on Instagram, it is Grant_HD60_2020.
Excellent. And it's so important for voters to get involved. That's the way to get you elected, get involved in your campaign. What's the best email to reach you at to do that and also ask more questions?
Yes, that email is tiffanygrant4district60@gmail.com. Again, I also receive Facebook messages, so that is available, as well as messaging through the website.
Great to know that you are so easily accessible to your voters. I hope they all check you out on your social media, on your website. They share your posts, talk about you to their friends and family, and get you elected. Also, you can check out more about Tiffany on 25womenfor2020.org. She's there with lots of information with her team members, all 25 of them that we need to get elected around the state of Indiana. Thanks for your time today, Tiffany.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great. All right. I'm going to do my big shout out for voter registration. I want anyone who is watching this, please find 10 friends and make sure that they are registered to vote and make sure that they get to the polls or find a way to vote. You can go to www.indianavoters.com to check your registration, to register to vote, to request an absentee ballot, or to find out where you go to vote. This is so important, and we hope that you'll go out there and vote, and we hope you'll vote for Tiffany. And we hope you'll vote for all of her other colleagues who are in 25 Women for 2020, so that when she goes, all of these women are there with her, and they can make the change that we want to see in Indiana. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right.